Hey drivers, are you looking for a new job or are you looking just to become a new lease driver? Well, NCI offers new Kenworth T680 double bunk condos with APU and refrigerator, all standard in all of their equipment. Come aboard and become a lease operator, or you can become a company driver. NCI offers regional positions, over-the-road positions, team positions, and also NCI will take on a few students if you've graduated from a trucking school. Pick up the phone, check out NCI, and see if they have what you're looking for at 888-311-7076. That's 888-311-7076.
Marvin Keller Trucking is currently looking for drivers to expand their fleet. We have solo, team, lease purchase, owner-operators, and even part-time local positions available.
Their solo drivers get up to 54 cents a mile. Teams get up to 58 cents a mile. Late model Cascadias and Mack Anthems available. Your health benefits start on day one.
That's nice.
No touch freight and 60% drop in hook.
Nice.
Want something different? Join the elite fleet. 4 days on and 4 days off. Hourly pay of $20 to $25 an hour. Want to start your own business? Check out the lease purchase program. With payments as low as $345, you can pay the truck off and start hiring your own drivers.
Want more details? Call 888-418-5161, extension 280.
Marvin Keller Trucking. Hey drivers, have you thought about becoming your own company? Have you thought you'd like to get your own authority and DOT number, but you just don't know how to go about doing it? Well, call J.J. Keller and Associates. They can help you get the proper registration and credentials that you need to operate legally. They protect drivers from penalties and out-of-service orders as a result of not having the proper authority. They save drivers time by filing their paperwork and ensuring everything is correct. Drivers, they also help you with unified carrier registration, US DOT and MC numbers, MCS 150 updates, year-around authority monitoring, and plenty more. Drivers, if you're looking to become your own company and you want your own authority number and DOT number today, call J.J. Keller and Associates at 888-601-2017. That's 888-601-2017 and tell them TalkCDL sent you. Thank you. Officially, you guys are now on this week's podcast. I just started the actual recording.
So he didn't hit the record on his computer to record all the previous conversation.
Well, we're being told we need to interact more. We do love you guys. So her question is, somebody recorded, so it sounds like a team driver, right? From the bunk, maybe he recorded
the driver on the phone.
He recorded his co-driver on the phone. And you're asking who should be terminated? Well, 100% the guy driving on the phone, because
he knows better than to talk on his phone.
Absolutely, that's first off, it's not even legal in a tractor trailer. You have to be 100% hands free. So without a doubt, he should be fired. The guy in the back filming it, I mean, honestly and truly, think about this. I'm so messed up today. I'm not even talking into the mic, Ruthann, for the podcast. So it's a great question, Margarita. But the guy in the back, if you think about it, everybody thinks, oh, he's a rat. I know that's what a lot of people are thinking. Oh, you stinking rat. You ratted on your brother. Well, what if your brother gets you killed? You know what I mean? Do I want to wake up in the middle of the night? And first off, I don't team with anybody. I barely teamed with her. Okay.
He didn't go well.
I hated teaming. It made me more nervous than just about anything. But to answer your question, Margarita, would you want to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and see your co-driver doing something illegal that could be distracting him from actually going down the road, especially if he wasn't only just was he talking on the phone, or was he actually...
He said he was on the phone. Doesn't say what he was doing.
Right. So here's a guy that might have been texting. You know, it gets even worse if the guy's...
Texting is the worst.
Yeah, I mean, you're endangering...
Or checking your email, Facebook, any of that.
Personally, if I was your team partner and I woke up and there you were doing something with your phone and you were, endangering all of us, I'm going to say, we got a problem. Absolutely, we got a problem. You have no respect for me. So if I rat on you... I'm just returning the no respect. So I think definitely the guy doing it should be terminated. The guy ratting on him. I don't like rats, but I know this. If it was me, I don't want to be going down the road with you, especially if you're texting and driving in the middle of the night or surfing or doing whatever the hell you're doing. Screw that. That's, some people may have a different opinion, but that's 100%.
When you're on the phone,
the guy driving.
No matter if you're in a semi or a car, no matter what vehicle you're in, right, you should not have your phone in your hand. Every vehicle that is a four-wheeler comes equipped 90% of the time anymore, the newer ones, with Bluetooth.
Yeah.
The tractor
even though
trailers,
it isn't the law though for four-wheelers. Like it's legal in Florida to hold your phone in your hand and talk. Unless you're in a construction zone. It's legal for a car driver. Now they might have just changed that, and they were making changes.
They were making the changes, but right now you cannot have any device whatsoever in your hand while you're going through a construction zone or a school zone.
Let's be honest though, Ruth Ann. What's your thought? What's your thought? What's your thought on what her question is?
Well, the point is if you picked up your phone as a driver, you should be definitely in trouble. I mean, honestly, if it was me, if Troy picks his phone up while we're driving, the first thing I say is, "What are you doing? Why do you have your phone in your hand? Do I not?"
Yeah, you get mad.
I do.
If I'm driving in a car even and I pick up my phone. But
yeah, you don't do that. While you are a professional driver, you do not pick your phone up. You are a professional. That means leave the phone down.
And when we can say all that technical stuff all we want, but it's also disrespecting the guy in the bunk. You know what I mean?
You're taking a chance of their life.
That's really what it comes down to. And we talked about teaming recently anyways. Teaming it's a hard thing to do. You have two different people in a little small cabin that have to coexist. That's not easy. And then add that into it. I would say the answer is,
well, Aaron says
fire the driver. I would fire him.
Well, Aaron says the person filming the co-driver should be arrested.
Why should he be arrested? I'm curious.
The person filming the co-driver should be arrested. I don't understand that, Aaron, because it's against the law to film it's against the law to be
the guy driving
while having your phone in your hand.
And with respect, I'm not understanding. We're not agreeing or disagreeing. Well, we can agree and disagree, but we're not.
Tom's from Norway. Hey, Norway.
I've seen that too. But as far as Aaron goes, I'm just trying to understand what he means by that, because
I think I'm not sure what he means.
Well, maybe he just doesn't like somebody ratting on somebody. But like I said, that's disrespectful. Hey, if you were my co-driver in the middle of the night and I woke up, you know what? The only proof I might have to send back to, I don't know who the hell they were teaming at, whatever company, you can call your boss and go, hey, this guy's texting and driving. Why not a little bit of proof? Now, if you do it to put it out there to get a viral video of it, well, then that's kind of showboating.
Margarita says the recording was in the sleeper berth, like you just said,
right,
but got awoken by the driver fussing about a storm. So naturally, he flipped out his phone. Naturally, you flip out your phone automatically to record the storm. And he just so happens to record the driver on his phone. So he showed the company the video instead of the driver getting fired. The one showing the video got fired.
So the guy that filmed the guy filming.
Yeah.
So the driver was filming a storm because it was a crazy storm. And the guy in the bunk woke up and said, he recorded the guy driving and said, he sent it into his company and said, hey, here's what my driver is doing. And they said, okay, for you filming, we're firing you. And I want to tell you something. This is just my opinion. If I'm getting this story correct, I don't agree with that at all. Zero agree with that. Because a lot of companies will be like, well, we didn't actually see him doing it. How do we know? Next time, take a picture or film him doing it. You know what I mean? 30 seconds of it. So I'm not understanding that. That doesn't make sense to me. Why you would fire the guy that's just trying to protect your truck and his life by saying you got a guy in here videoing while he's going down the road in a tractor trailer. That's just, honestly, it doesn't even make sense. But anyways, we came on here to announce what the podcast was going to be about. And by all means, there's other people probably asking questions in here.
So
she said they were with Covenant.
Yeah, Marguerite gave it up.
It's funny, we were talking about Covenant last week. Poor Covenant's getting picked on.
But Aaron says that if the co-driver is driving and the person filming him is driving, then both should be arrested and fired. You can't have two people driving.
Yeah, the one was in the bunk, Aaron.
So one was in the bunk, Aaron, and he was awoken by the co-driver saying, hey, check out this storm, or whatever the case might be. But he had his cell phone in his hand. That right there is not legal. You do not have your cell phone in your hand.
See, he actually asked that. He said, is the co-driver driving? No.
If the co-driver is driving. If.
No, he says is. Is. I understand, but I'm just telling you what he said.
I'm looking at it. It says if.
Is the co-driver driving?
Okay, I didn't get that updated one.
Okay, so there's okay. Look at her starting a big fight with me.
I am not.
Wow.
I'm not.
Jamie, you know her. Oh yeah. Jamie is like a cousin to her, by the way. Okay, and you know what? I do see if now too, so that's in there. So I got that.
I didn't get the
reason we didn't see that is because the Facebook live feed, there's a lag and a pause in there,
and I've got the lag right now. All I'm seeing is my response.
They don't care. But anyway, so this week's podcast is going to be about like we told you, the main topic is going to be the Brotherhood of Trucking, and we are going to be talking about a few other things. By the way, I was told by. In case you drivers, I just want to announce this while we're on the live feed and where it'll be on the podcast, but there's still a bunch of Walmarts that actually allow truck drivers to park. Okay, I know a lot of truck drivers are still afraid now because, of hidden signs and that, but the one in Homosassa Springs, Florida, where we're from, by the way, right on Highway 19, a lot of people come down 19. It's an alternative road to I-75. If you're coming from the west side, instead of running down 75, Highway 19 is a 4-lane road. It's actually a nice road. It's not you just
normally.
You want to get down to Homosassa and then jump on what's called the Veterans. It might cost you, I don't know, $5-6. It's worth not going down through Port Richey and all that. But anyways, the Homosassa Springs Walmart. Tom, the guy that works in the fishing licensing and all that stuff, was telling me, he said, yeah, we don't mind truckers parking in our parking lot. As long as they stay down in the lower end. And we got into talking. I said, there's a big thing about Walmart and Walmart's policies and the way, it got ruined for a lot of people with leaving, piss bottles and oil pans and all that other crap.
Just being garbage.
It was funny. He said just 2 weeks ago, he said the name of it, some kind of a trailer. I'm going to pull this up here. He said the guy dumped his in the middle of the night, I guess, since nobody, and this is really why the Walmarts really cracked down on truckers. And this guy had said, some kind of a tank truck, like I forget what he called it. What the hell? I thought I wrote it down. It's like a weird name, something Vogue or something like that. But anyways, it was a tank truck that had like a dump in it. You know what I mean? Like for pissing and stuff like that. He dumped it in the Walmart parking lot at the bottom of the parking lot. Is what Tom was telling me. He said that's disrespect.
It's gross.
So
disrespect is one thing, but gross too.
And the truck actually, when we looked it up to see, it was some kind of some kind of weird name. But it actually looks like a military truck. It wasn't an actual tractor trailer. So, kudos to the truckers that it wasn't a trucker, but it was
But they got you on camera.
But it was still somebody that was...
Do they not realize that all parking lots, especially for Walmarts, are video recorded? Like every so often is like one of those little recorders up in the lights. So I'm giggling because as I'm watching things, I'm not going to turn it because if I turn it, you're not going to see it anyways. But I get like when a driver responds to one of the posts, it shows up on my screen. And all of a sudden, Jonathan comes up with, off with their heads. And I was just talking about Alice in Wonderland earlier, so I thought it was funny. Sorry.
So Aaron just asked.
Jamie has a question too, by the way.
Aaron just asked, whatever happened to Diesel? And just so you guys know, Diesel is still very much in our lives, and he's still very alive.
Yes, he talks to us.
Yeah, Diesel's very Diesel's like
pushing 80. You know what I mean? He's mid 70s. So
let's see, he's
Diesel, yeah, and he actually
75-ish.
Diesel actually had a heart attack, and he had, I think it was either triple or quadruple bypass. So when Diesel was on the show back in 15 and 16, all of 16, we used to do a 90-minute show every morning live on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
And Diesel had to get up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Because he had a different time zone.
And he came to us. He was like, Troy, man, I really
killing
I
me.
like being on the show, but he's like, man, I can't do this anymore. So, you know what? With respect, Diesel's just a retired Diesel. What do you got, Rutan?
I'm just laughing at them now.
Well, he asked whatever happened to Diesel.
Yeah. So that's what happened to Diesel, Aaron, is he's still very much in our lives. It's just that he is behind the scenes more than anything because he is getting his health back into check, which he does go to see the doctors often. I swear he still smokes, though.
Yes, he does.
I swear. He'll be talking to me and he goes, Ruthann, how you doing?
Exactly.
Diesel's. How you doing, Ruthann?
We had a friend in Pennsylvania. We had this friend that was a lady. Talking about Diesel, remember Madeline? Right. We had this. She actually worked at the American Legion. It's funny because
in Minersville.
And she ended up getting
lung cancer,
and so she had to carry a big oxygen tank around, and she would fire up a cool cigarette and lift her oxygen mask. And she was the bartender at the American Legion, and so she would say something like, she'd go, and then she'd go, Rizzy. That was her husband, and she sounded. You can hear that old.
I can't do the
smoker voice. She'd go, Rizzy, run downstairs and get a keg of Yingling. We're almost tapped out. But she smoked till like the day she died. She did die. I mean, that probably couldn't have been.
And she was really nice.
She was super nice,
yes,
but you know what nice. I mean? I mean, guys, honestly, those last year or two, if you're smoking, well, anyway, so who cares?
We're getting on a tangent.
We're not here to tell you not to smoke. I smoked for 30-some years.
I smoked too. We both quit, 17 years ago?
18. Yeah, 16 years ago, yeah. Well, we prayed and quit. Amen.
Okay, so Jamie had a question.
Jamie who?
That Jamie Crow.
That Jamie.
That Jamie.
Okay, what does she got?
My cousin. So Jamie asked a question. She said, with everything that's going on, drivers are being targeted basically because of the riots and drivers being shot at, drivers being attacked. She asked that, would you consider driving in that state or would you avoid that state? So if you're a driver driving, would you avoid going into a state that you know are having riots, or would you avoid that state completely?
I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. I mean, honestly, it's not. You get reports all the time, and go ahead.
Jamie works at the McDonald's there in Pine Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Say hi to Jamie. She works there right at the 81 and
81. There's not 81 and 443.
Right.
All right.
At that McDonald's. So if you see Jamie, you can tell her what you feel, whether or not you would drive in that state. But
there's a bunch of truck stops right there too.
Exactly. But I think what is going on is they're focusing right on one or two incidences, maybe 5 incidences.
Yeah,
when you think about the whole picture of everything, there's so much more going on that drivers are not having as many issues as what the media wants to portray. But please let us know if there is anything else going on that we don't know about, like if you are having an issue. Other than that, give us your opinion.
Yeah.
Would you drive?
I mean, and you can ask the drivers that are in here, you know, personally, you can run into trouble anywhere in the country, and it's really up to your dispatcher to know, you know, where if there's riots. See, the riots and the COVID-19, all that crap has scared people. There's truckers that are afraid to go to work right now because of the coronavirus, and you know, the riots and all that other stuff. And to be honest with you, it's not. The problem with what you're seeing, it's just like, you guys remember the hurricanes in Florida a few years ago when it was all the time? Well, they would pick out like this one little piece of shingle that blew off someone's roof, and they would play that all day, over and over, or a garbage can flying down the road.
It's so devastating.
We're dying out here. But the guy was standing there in the wind. I mean, in all sincerity, but they get people so scared. They sit there and watch that 90-second tape all day long. Well, it's the same with those damn riots. You know, you had an incident or two. It's not I'm just saying I don't think it's as bad.
I got to tell you one thing.
So I don't think truckers are being targeted either.
So I got to tell you one thing. When you see the Weather Channel or some of the other weathermen, when they're portraying the hurricanes or some of the major storms that come through Florida, they'll have like the person in full weather gear, like with the raincoat and this major thing going on, and then the guy with the camera is perfectly fine, but that person's leaning to the side because they're trying to make it sound like the wind's blowing them over.
Okay, so do we have any more questions?
I don't see. Jamie just said MPA. I don't see any other questions.
Okay. Well, let's cut everybody and get on with the podcast because we got to get this done. It's got to go into edit, and we appreciate everybody every week. This is the second time we've done this.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Let us know if it's cool. If it's not cool, we don't have to be live announcing what podcast is. But we thought we'd have a little bit of fun.
Hey, Rampy. Hi, son.
Is Rampy in here?
Yeah, James is in here. Hey, son.
James Rampy from National Carriers, everybody. He's the recruit.
We are not freezing. It's 95 degrees today, Jamie.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty hot down here.
It was hot.
It was pretty humid, too.
It was.
But anyways, Rampy, how you doing, brother? And we are, you came about a day late and a dollar short because we're about to cut out of here. Ruthann, do you have anything else for our truck driver friends out here in all trucker land?
Look up Long Haul Bandits if you want to try and get into the Brotherhood of Trucking.
Yeah, that's true.
Sancho, Grumpy. I do not know all the charter presidents'
chapter.
Exactly. I don't know all the presidents' names, but each quadrant has a different not president, but Sancho is the president, but each quadrant has different
sectors leaders. Have different leaders.
Yeah. So look them up.
So depending on if you're on the East Coast, he'll put you in touch with them. But in order to get into the Long Haul Bandits, this is how you got to know this, okay? And make sure you tell him TalkCDL sent you. I just sent Sancho a message the other day. You know what Sancho does? Him and Grumpy, they haul bees.
Bees.
Yeah. Remember Grumpy said he's a bee hauler because even bull haulers need a hero. And
I'm waiting for me to go and check him out, though. I was supposed to have a little
what?
A get up, like.
Oh yeah, the bee suits. Yeah,
I want to.
So
be
can
in
you imagine being a trucker? And I don't want to get into that because we'll be here all night, and I want to get to see we're at already 20 minutes, and we were going to do a 5-minute live thing. We're 15 minutes over what we were supposed to do here on live. But so check it out. Imagine hauling bees and hearing that buzzing sound, how crazy that even is. But that's what the president and his vice president or whatever he's called, that's what they do for a living. They're owner-operators, and they started the club called the Long Haul Bandits. And it's all about respect. It's all about cleaning up after yourself, and it's all about helping your brother trucker.
Exactly.
You guys really... And check out our podcast this week because it's going to be all about the Brotherhood of Trucking and a few other things in the news. But I would implore you, I would beg you to really consider, okay, and I'm going to just leave it, I'm going to give one piece of advice, and then we're going to drop the live feed. A lot of people saying, oh, yeah, man, the Brotherhood's dead. Man, it's dead long ago. But here's the question I have for anybody that says, oh, F the Brotherhood, it's dead. Here's my question to you, because everybody says, oh, I never see anybody stopping to help. Well, I see people stopping. I stop. And we had a thing on Facebook the other day, and a lot of truck drivers were saying, well, I stop always to see if my brother needs a little bit of help. One guy was telling us a story how he was... pulled over. He was out of fuel somehow, and the guy went down the road. He was going to tell the wrecker to come and bring him fuel, and they were closed. So what'd he do? He went and bought 50 gallons or 20 gallons of fuel, came back and helped the guy prime it and got it started and did it himself. This was another trucker with his rig, came back to help this guy. So here's my statement, and don't take this the wrong way, but think for a second. If you say the Brotherhood is dead, and you pass the truck driver by that's on the side of the road, then it's dead to you. The question you should, instead of worrying about, oh, look at nobody stops, ask yourself, do I stop? That's all we can worry about. Why worry? Hey, some of the guys that are going by that truck driver that's broke down might actually not be able to stop because of company policy, because those guys get, like, for example, a lot of these big companies, they tell these guys, you stop on the road to help somebody, you're fired. because they don't want you on the side of the road and just pulling in. So there are some companies, but there's a lot that don't say that. So the question is, if you're able to stop, okay, and you're not in a rush that you can't stop, and no company policy stopping you from stopping, the question is, do you stop when you see a brother on the side of the road? You got a guy that's got his four ways on or his triangles out. Do you stop to check on him? Or do you at least pick up the phone and call his company and say, hey, just want you to know one of your trucks is at mile marker blah, blah on highway. Do you do that? So if you do that, if you are a guy that does stop, guess what? Then the brotherhood is alive to you. But if you don't stop, then the brotherhood don't even exist to you.
You're not participating. So why are you even part of the brotherhood? There's no brotherhood in you.
Right. While you're bitching about the guys that don't stop, you're not stopping yourself.
Right.
So, I mean, think about what you're saying.
You can't complain about something if you're not trying to be involved in that.
Right. So all we really want to do is, look, I'm going to tell you, we get a lot of emails and a lot of messages from people saying, hey, you guys are doing a great job with the CBs. A lot of people are calling us saying, listen, we're actually starting to hear people on CBs warning each other and chatter going on. Good. People, this is the message is what we're trying to do is help the industry. Okay. And guess how we help? With you guys' help.
Exactly.
You guys are the ones, as we communicate, we get the message out, okay?
We can only say the message. You guys are the ones that are doing it. So we can only ask you to please use the CBs. It's you guys that are using it.
And now the message that we're kind of on right now is what? The brotherhood.
The brotherhood.
Help your brother that's broke down.
Right now, it's more important than ever to show one unit.
Yeah, show unity. Unity in trucking. So, show unity.
Really quick.
Ruthann, I want to stick with this for a second. You got something you want to read that's off this subject?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Wait, it's off the subject. I know you.
Kinda.
Yeah, well, you're going to go.
Well, it's Aaron.
Is it about ice cream or something?
No. Aaron evidently is from a different area, like the UK.
Okay.
And he was just saying about how in the
UK.
Yeah. He said, I don't know what it's like been for you guys in the US. You guys? But for us in the UK, driving during the lockdown would get to a delivery and they would tell us not to use the restroom. On top of that, the NHS, which is their National Health Service, was getting a tone of praise and truckers were getting nothing. And I'm scratching my head thinking, why are they getting the why is the NHS would be nothing without truckers, just wondering if there has been anything similar in the cases where we are. And I had told him that we are the CDC, not the NHS. And yes, the truckers were getting some praise, but not enough praise for going out there during this pandemic and getting, we were still supplying everything that they needed. So, but when they go to the different places, they weren't being able to use the restroom. So it was kind of on subject, but not.
All right. Very good. So anyways, as far as the brotherhood goes, if you're helping, you're part of the brotherhood. If you're not helping, you're not part of the brotherhood. Bottom line. Just keep that in mind, guys. And if you're from Australia, it would be your mate, not your brother, right? That's what they say. That's my mate.
Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
The matehood. Huh? I'm kidding.
It sounds weird.
Is there any Australians in here? Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
All right. So anyways, I don't know, where that came from. It
How
just
about
came
Canadians?
Now listen,
I like that, though.
She's getting all like, knocking the countries here.
No, I'm not.
Who are you going to make fun of next? Huh?
I'm not making fun of anybody.
Everybody's so sensitive now. You'll have the Canadians calling up.
No, I like the in Canadian.
What's that? What's up with the A thing, Ruthann? Huh?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So, okay. So, going back to it all, we appreciate you guys joining us. In fact, I'm going to make the podcast even shorter now because we've been in here 26 minutes with these people.
We love you, though.
We do love you guys. And please keep writing in and making our day. We appreciate the videos, everything that you guys send. Yeah. And so
go to Foodies from TalkCDL by TalkCDL.
Yeah.
Go to our Foodies page. It's not always the greatest video, but it's done with heart.
Okay, she's all over the place. Tell them what we're going to be also talking about. Give them the titles to the news that you were going to be reading also. And do you know what the word of the day is going to be or not?
Yeah.
Do you know? Just tell them what the word's going to be because we're going to have it in the podcast.
All right, well then I'll go ahead and tell you the word of the day today is All right. I'm going to show you how I actually have to do it. I'm going to get really close. Oh, wait. Baruch.
Didn't you have that one before?
Nope.
Baruch? What's it mean?
Relating to or denoting a style of European architect.
Architect.
Thank you. Music or art of the 17th and 18th centuries followed mannerism and is characterized by ornate detail.
You know, what's really funny is, I mean, we're already halfway through this podcast. We might as well just finish it with everybody in here. I mean,
okay, highly ornate or extravagant in style. So, honestly, if I wanted to give an example of Baruch, it would be like the cathedrals. You know, when they did the Michael, what's the name of it?
Michelangelo.
That would be Baruch. Because the example, they can't see it, but you can see the cathedral ceiling type of thing.
Okay, cool.
So, all right, there you go.
So why don't you give us a little, should we just keep them in? I mean, we only have a few minutes left.
Let's keep them in.
You want to just keep them in to the end?
Yeah.
You know what? Everything's an experiment with us.
Here we go.
I lost my live feed, by the way. I can't see anybody in here.
It's been jammed for a while, so I
wonder, are we even live? Are we still live?
I'm sure we are. Let me refresh
We might not be still live. I'm serious.
I'm refreshing.
I just refreshed too. Let's see. Are we still live? It's saying we're live.
Ooh, hold on. There we go.
What was that?
Sorry, that was because I turned my mic back on so they can hear.
Oh, okay.
That was us.
Like I said, everything's an experiment with us. So, Ruth Ann, why don't you go ahead and give them a little bit of news? And I think we could probably wrap this podcast up, as far as...
All right. So in the news right now, we're going to discuss 2 people dead in a head-on collision with a tractor trailer.
2 people are dead. Mm-hmm. What state was that in? Go ahead and read it. We'll just read the whole thing.
Okay, well, let me pull my phone out. You didn't tell me that. You said highlights.
Well, we just said we're going to keep them in here.
Okay. Well, you threw me off.
I threw you off. You could have just pulled it up on your computer instead of there, right? It's probably easier.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't say that often.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
No,
yeah.
Not enough.
Well, you think it a lot. You think I'm right a lot. You just don't say it.
He didn't even hear what I said. I don't say it enough. Yeah.
Oh. Get out of here. In case you haven't noticed, she's a wacko.
I am a wacko. He loves me for it. Okay, so in the news, we have 2 people dead in a head-on collision with a tractor trailer. In Middlesex County, Virginia, state police have released the names of 2 people killed in a fiery wreck involving a tractor trailer early on July 18th, Saturday morning in the Middlesex County. Troopers were called to the 2-vehicle crash on Route 17, about 1 mile south of the Briery Swamp Road, just after 3:30 a.m. A Volkswagen convertible, a little bug, was headed northbound in a southbound lane.
That's bad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That means good.
Just finish that one right there.
Of Route 17, when the driver collided head-on with a tractor trailer, according to the preliminary investigation from the state police. Upon impact, the tractor trailer ran off the road into the ditch, tipping over onto its side and spilling over 70 gallons of diesel fuel. 70.
Is that it?
No. Sergeant Michelle Anya with Virginia State Police said the driver was a 22-year-old Amberly Joy Wingfield of Linden Avenue in Urbana and passenger 25-year-old Bradley Carlton Wingfield of Dirt Bridge Road in Topping were killed on impact. There was no word on the condition of the semi-driver at last check Saturday.
Okay, so just a quick comment on that one, because we've seen that happen. And one of the things that sometimes truck drivers aren't watching for, and it could kind of really take us by surprise when all of a sudden there's a guy, what we call a wrong way driver.
Exactly.
And in Florida here, we get a lot of wrong way drivers between people that are over a certain age that maybe got a little disoriented, or some young kid that is drunk and just pulled on. Somehow they pull onto the damn. Somehow, I don't know how they do it, but they pull right on the ramp that's the get on or the get off ramp, they get on it. I mean, it doesn't even make sense, but they do, and they get confused, and then they get disoriented because you got to realize it's like they're probably going, why is everybody doing? What's going on here? And instead of just pulling off the road and getting their thoughts, they get scared, and they're just basically trying to duck cars, and unfortunately, and that's another thing, the trucker. Can you imagine the emotional state he's in where two people, especially if he's okay, and hopefully the trucker's okay, but can you imagine how he feels knowing, a couple people just died that ran into...
Well, it's horrible.
It's horrible, man.
I mean, that's on his conscience. So even if they were wrong, it's still going to be on the driver's conscience that they were impacted in one form or the other with this incident.
Go ahead, read the next one, Ruth Ann. What's next? What do you got?
Wrong. I hate when I hit the wrong button and I end up opening the wrong thing. So right now my Microsoft Excel wants to open. So sniper shoots semi-truck engine to end a police pursuit on I-275 in...
Cool, huh?
Ohio.
Yeah. So instead of reading that, I'll just kind of give you a breakdown of what happened. The guy had his wife, apparently abducted his own wife, was holding her hostage. Ended up booking from the cops, ended up dropping his trailer somewhere along the way. And there's a part in there that did not make sense. It said that he was backing up at 50 to 60 mile an hour at the cops at different times. Personally, I mean, that's an awful fast truck that can go 60 mile an hour in reverse. Okay. I didn't know. Personally, maybe I'm dumb, but I did not realize that our trucks went that fast in reverse.
Well, just to be able to control the truck going that fast in reverse, hands to you there.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we want to hire this guy, but no.
I mean,
I think they ended up. Anyway, so
I would have rolled it.
Yeah, she would roll. She would roll. She would roll a Tonka toy. But anyway, so imagine the end of the article. It said that he needed medical treatment after they arrested him. So I'm guessing they might have kicked his ass a little bit. And it did say they tased him. So bottom line, okay, crime doesn't pay. Ruth Ann, one last article. What do you got?
Suicide by Big Rig.
Suicide by Big Rig. Oh, no, my. Oh, my. I couldn't get it. Go ahead. What do you got?
A Michigan man intentionally drove his vehicle into a truck this week in an attempt to commit suicide.
A parked truck.
The Oakland County Sheriff's Department said the incident occurred at 10:52 p.m. on Wednesday, July 15th in Rochester Hill, Michigan, in a commercial parking lot. The unnamed man reportedly accelerated his 2000 gray Pontiac Bonneville through the parking lot to a high rate of speed and drove his vehicle into a parked 2004 KW. Fortunately, the truck was unoccupied at the time of the accident. The man had to be excavated. It doesn't extricated.
Basically extracted.
From his car. Yeah, extracted from his car. The man told first responders, I seen that, that he...
Come on, go.
I'm trying to. That he was trying to kill himself. He was taken to a hospital for treatment for his injuries and was later died.
Yeah, so it worked anyways. But I mean, that's terrible. And then there you go. Personally, if you're looking to kill yourself, and again, I really don't advocate anybody to kill himself, but why take somebody out with you, or why hurt somebody's property? Why don't you just find a big boulder or a big giant tree if you're looking to run into something? I mean,
why involve someone else? If you want to kill yourself, do it by yourself. Don't involve anybody else.
If you're looking to check out, I mean, personally, I don't advise it to anybody. It's just, I say get help. It just
exactly.
You're worth I say you're worth living. Okay, but the bottom line is, if you're gonna kill yourself, why hurt somebody else? Ruth Ann, I think that's all we got this week, guys. The Brotherhood is very alive. The Brotherhood of Trucking is very alive. If you're a person that
I think it's alive more now than it has been in a while.
What? I just say that it's alive if you practice it. If you're a guy that's just bitching about the new drivers, I'm going to tell you something else. I see a lot of new drivers that write into us that their dream was to be a trucker. I could name them, but there's a bunch of drivers that have written in saying, hey, man, my dream was to become a trucker. We really appreciate trucking, appreciate everything everybody's doing in the industry, and they stop and help. And they're brothers. So, you've got guys from 50 years trucking to guys to 50 days trucking that do help and don't help. So you're either part of it or you're not. But guess what? Each time it's up to the individual to either stop. And here's my advice. If you can't stop to help the guy that's on the side of the road, your brother or your sister, okay,
True.
pick up the phone and, try to call their company and just say, hey, I just want to let you know you got a truck on the side of the road. And, you might want to check on your driver. He may need a service truck, blah, blah, blah. I mean, at least you've done your part and helped. You're part of the Brotherhood then.
Exactly. But you cannot complain about something if you don't actually be involved in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like an oxymoron.
Exactly. I agree. They say you can't complain unless you vote about, the problems in the country. If you vote, then you have a right to complain. That's what they say. Mm-hmm. It's the same with the trucking industry. Get involved. Don't worry about the next guy that ain't helping. If you know what? Lead by example. Right, Ruth Ann?
True.
Are we out of here?
Peace.
Peace. Praise the Lord.